Isn't it a bit early for Christmas?
No, actually, we're a little late.
Late?
We're making... It's impossible to talk in this thing. We're making eggnog today.
Ooh.
Now, everyone knows the best way to get the Christmas spirit is to drink a whole lot of thick, frothy eggnog. So get going.
I don't like eggnog.
Drink the nog, Carter.
I don't want to.
Take it, Carter. Take all the nog.
Alton Brown's eggnog recipe. It's a no-cook thing. It's so easy to put together, and it really is the best eggnog I've ever tasted.
Yeah, there's one thing about Christmas that I like.
The eggnog. There is one small problem with the eggnog. It needs to be aged for a long time. The longer, the better. It's the author says that you should age it 2 weeks, but a month is better, and 2 months is even better. I find you want to age it about 8 or 9 months. Why don't you ask me what's the longest I've ever aged this eggnog?
What's the longest you've ever aged an eggnog?
2.5 years. You see, the alcohol content...
Have you actually tried that?
I really have, yeah.
When?
I set one jar aside for 2 years in a row.
Oh, I was about to say, because I've never had one that old.
I wanted to see if it would go bad.
And?
It didn't.
No.
It was amazing. You see, this recipe requires a lot of liquor. See behind us. The alcohol content, I'm not sure exactly how much it is, but I'm guessing in the 20 to 25%. But whatever the alcohol is, it's so high that it won't allow anything to grow in there. It'll kill anything. So the recipe is made out of egg yolks and milk and cream, but keep it in the fridge and it will stay there forever, at least 2.5 years. All that alcohol content prevents the milk from souring and prevents everything. Salmonella, no problem.
Everything dies.
Everything dies. Except us. We enjoy. So let's get right down to it, shall we?
Let's get started.
So this really is the easiest eggnog recipe ever, and it is so good.
I love eggnog recipes.
It requires 12 large eggs per batch, just the yolks, 1 pound of sugar, 1 pinch of nutmeg, 1 pint of half and half, 1 pint of whole milk, 1 pint of heavy whipping cream, and 1 tisp of salt, or 1 pinch of salt, kosher salt.
What about the liquor?
The liquor, it requires per batch 1 cup of bourbon, 1 cup of cognac, and 1 cup of, what's the last one?
Jamaican rum.
Jamaican rum.
So our Jamaican rum, we're using Appleton Estates. 4 rows for the bourbon, and we just got some cheaper cognac.
There's a little bit of a story behind the liquor here. These are expensive-ish
Well,
liquors.
they're not the super cheap. They're kind of mid.
See, this is supposed to be aged for a long, long time. What I typically do, I make it in the spring, and I use the cheapest of the cheap, the bottom of the barrel stuff, and put it all together, age it all the way till Christmas.
Mellows it out.
It ages all those cheap liquor flavors into something wonderful.
We don't have that kind of time though.
Yeah,
Do we?
it's November. Christmas is next month. We're gonna make this and start drinking it really, really, really soon. So we bought the more expensive versions of liquor.
I don't know. We could wait till next year to drink it.
We could, but we're not going to.
No, definitely not going to.
Let's get to it, shall we? Okay, so we're making 2 batches of this. We pooled our assets to make enough for 2 batches. We're going to take half each. And yeah, step 1, eggs. We only want the yolks, not the whites. So we're going to separate the yolks and the whites. Put the yolks in the bucket, put the whites in the thing. And
we can go healthy and have egg white eggs in the morning.
yeah, you can do that, but I'm not an egg whites kind of guy.
You'll
so.
take the yolks?
Yeah, I'll take the yolks, you can have the whites. Okay, so yeah, let's get to it, man. Let's do this, shall we?
Maybe you should show them how to separate.
Yeah, you just open the egg like so, pour it into your hand, and then just sort of back and forth it, holding the yolk in your hands and opening your fingers to let the whites just kind of run off. And sometimes you gotta coax them off just a little bit.
Ooh.
Dig it out, man. Dig it out.
Oh, wow, hold it together good.
12 eggs per batch, so we're going 24 eggs here. 24 egg yolks. Let's get it done, shall we? What are you gonna do with the egg whites?
Eat them for breakfast.
egg whites without the yolks? That's kind of weird, isn't it? Now we have our bucket of 2 dozen egg yolks. What's kind of gross in there? Can you see? So now we're gonna add to this 2 tisps of nutmeg and 2 pounds of sugar. It's 1 tisp and 1 pound per batch. We're doing 2 batches of those. That's a lot of sugar, man. Oh, that's a lot of sugar. Are we even gonna be able to mix it up? Is it? Yeah, 1 pound of sugar.
Jeez.
That's a lot of sugar.
That's a ton of sugar.
And mix it up. Now you will notice the lack of sanitation here, the sanitizer and all that.
It's because the alcohol is probably going to kill everything.
Yeah, it's actually not necessary. Just general cleanliness, wash everything properly, making sure it's nice and clean. But all the alcohol is going to go in there. It's not going to let anything grow. So if you're one of those types of people that just have to have everything sanitized, you're fine. You won't hurt anything. But it's just not necessary. And now it has about the consistency of cake batter now. Do you concur?
I concur. Here, show 'em.
Cake batter. Mm-hmm. The recipe says you know when this is done when the stuff falls off your spoon just like a ribbon.
Oh, you have to do it to a certain...
Is
Okay.
that like a ribbon?
Not yet.
No? Almost?
Almost.
I got stuff on my hands. Next, we combine the dairy, the booze, and the salt in a separate bowl and then mix it together.
So we got a perfectly good bowl right
Let's
here.
just put it all in there and mix it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, okay. We're just gonna put everything in there and mix it together. Screw all this to mix this and then mix that. No, we're just gonna mix it all.
We're not trying to dirty all those dishes.
Yeah.
We hate dishes.
We'll start with a heavy whipping cream. While we do this, you wanna you got it in there. You wanna mix it while we do that? Mix it together, y'all. Same thing. 1 pint or 2 pints of half and half. 1 pint per batch. And 1 pint of whole milk. Whole milk. Not none of that 2% skim milk crap. There is no diet version of this recipe. If you're on a diet, you ought not to be drinking it.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And finally, kosher salt. One pinch of kosher salt. Now last, but most definitely not least, the liquor, the best part. We are going for
Cup, right?
We're going for 1 cup per batch, so 2 cups.
So just spill 3 cups, cup per.
That's 1 cup per batch. We've got 2 batches. So 2 cups of everything. 2 cups of cognac. And surprise, surprise, that's all there is to it.
That easy, huh?
That easy. Give it one more good little mix up. You want to make sure the sugar is all dissolved in there, so keep on mixing it for, preferably if you have 2 people, have one person mix it while the other person adds everything. And you want to make sure it's all mixed, all the sugar's dissolved, and nutmeg doesn't dissolve. But
What kind of cognac did you use last time?
it's cheap stuff, I remember. I actually think I may have used this last time, and that's where that bottle came from.
Oh yeah?
Now, what we normally do, what you're supposed to do, is buy jars, a whole bunch of jars, and fill all the jars up, put them in the fridge. We are just going to use carboys. It's easier. We're going to fill 2 of these, and he's going to take 1. I'm going to keep 1. Make sure you keep it in the fridge. I don't know if it'll survive just on a shelf somewhere. I mean, it might. That's a lot of alcohol. It might be okay just sitting on your shelf somewhere, but just to be on the safe side, go ahead and keep it chilled.
Don't want to get sick.
This will last years in the fridge. But hey, if you're the adventuring type, if you're dangerous, go ahead and mix up a batch and keep a jar like just on a shelf somewhere above your mantle. Let us know how it tastes in a year or so. Let us know if it goes bad, if it goes moldy, if it keeps. Wow, that's good just like that.
It is good like that.
I could serve this and drink this just like that. It's good, it's perfect.
Maybe chill a little bit more, but.
Hey!
It'll be better in a week. It'll be amazing in a month. And if you're able to keep some for a year, 2 years, it turns fabulous. It really does. It's an amazing, amazing recipe. We'll include the link to Alton Brown's recipe in the description. Until then, happy holidays and thank you for watching.